All right, Claude. Today's a big day. Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that today. Just not feeling it.
Well, that's nice. But these legacy reviews were your idea, so.
Well, we're 5 years late to the party anyway. I was thinking maybe we could do something along the lines of another Marvel Ultimate Alliance video.
Marvel Entertainment has no entertainment till August, so no, we need to do something here.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not today. I'll catch up with you later. Bye.
Fine, I'll do this myself. Igra, Vremya, Marchik, Suka, Brie Larson. Hiya, Thanos. We're the lamest offenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com. Hi, and welcome back. Claude, are we ready to comply now?
Nah.
Excellent.
So, we're at Civil War here. So, this, spoiler alert, is my favorite movie in the entire MCU. I've been looking forward to doing this review for a while, and we're finally here after about 2 months. And starting off, I don't really want to go into the plot just because, everybody has seen this movie, but I just want to address the beginning. It was really, really cool. They're basically in Africa, and you have Crossbones, who's a little bit he looks like a burnt piece of cheese pizza, and he's just stealing. What's the MacGuffin for this?
It was a virus, which is
okay.
Ooh,
Bioterrorism. Yeah. That'd be our next skit, but. It's really cool because you get to see the continuation of him and where he went from, what was it, Winter Soldier to here.
Yeah.
And the fight scene is really, really cool.
Yeah, the Russos know how to make a fight scene.
Yeah.
Like their stunt coordinator, fight choreography, whatever that is so good. Like it just in that one fight, that beginning intro with where Cap falls out of the building and he lands on that truck.
Yeah.
Like that was
seamless.
Real. Like, that was a stunt guy like doing that. Like that was a great stunt. Like, that was insane.
And it's cool too with these action scenes that they implement all the specific characters' powers. Like Scarlet Witch is getting the gas out of the building.
Yeah.
Falcon is using his wings as a shield, which we haven't seen before. He has basically a drone for Red Wing because I don't think a real parrot or bird flying around would look cool.
No.
And I would say this is the best action I've seen from Black Widow. She's been in a couple movies now, but just seeing her flip and the stunt woman, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, just the work that she's doing during that market scene where she's kicking ass. Yeah. And there's a really cool scene where Frank Grillo's character Crossbones throws a grenade in the Humvee. Black Widow stuck in there, so she has to grab like a human shield. I'd be dead. I would just give up at that point.
Well, okay, that's it.
Superhero movies, I guess. And so continuing on, it's just Scarlet Witch basically saves Captain America's life because Crossbones suicides himself with a grenade and suicides himself. And Scarlet Witch has to think fast, and she ends up sending the explosion up in the air, and it really took out a good portion of a building.
Yeah, a couple floors of a corner office there. So.
Yeah, I hate to come in that.
Someone raised, I
wasn't even
Someone's
supposed
promotion,
to be there. And so you have the ramifications for this. And what was really, really cool was they brought in Thaddeus Ross from Incredible Hulk, which it's so great that they finally stopped ignoring the Incredible Hulk because that happened. It's part of the MCU. And I love that guy. I love that actor. I really hope it has nothing to do with anything, but I really hope he becomes Red Hulk eventually in the MCU.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I kind of doubt it, honestly. It doesn't really seem like that type of... But, I mean, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Can you picture that actor just going, just turns red? And
he probably just he's so stoic, I think he wouldn't move. He'd be like, all of a sudden he just balloons up to the Red Hulk, and that would be it.
So this is a problem because it's the, what do they call it? The Sokovian Accords?
Sokovia Accords.
Yeah. And so basically they want to put a check on superheroes across the country and, especially with the Avengers because they have no jurisdiction. They'll just go wherever.
Yep.
And that's the problem. And in the beginning, too, with Tony Stark, he gets guilted by a mother who lost her son during the terrific movie Age of Ultron. And so that's where you have that schism between Tony Stark and Captain America, because Captain America doesn't want, any checks.
Nope.
And I'm kind of on Tony Stark's side on this, to be honest with you.
It's really funny you say that, because when I first saw this movie, I was like, oh, I'm Team Cap all the way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really enjoy oversight, being told what to do, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But watching this again, it's like, oh, wow, he actually made a really good point.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I kind of get that.
And who's going to stop him anyway, even if they do that? Like, it was still cool to see that, because there's been hints of Tony Stark clashing with Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The first Avengers, you had Age of Ultron during the wood-cutting scene, the best scene in the entire movie. Because that was just more foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And so we continue on, and we also have the introduction of Black Panther.
Two big introductions in this movie. So Chadwick Boseman.
Yep.
I could not envision someone else playing Black Panther right now, honestly. Much like Robert Downey with the Iron Man. Just like, okay, you nailed it. You got perfect casting on the first try. So. And
here's a little fun piece of lame trivia. That actor that plays Black Panther tried out for Drax for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No, yeah, he's Black Panther. He's such a good actor, and just not to dog on Dave Bautista, but I mean, Drax really, that's just Drax. He's just pretty one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So continuing on, you have it's just you're picking sides with the heroes, and you have Scarlet Witch is basically on house arrest from Vision, her robotic lover. I mean, most women have one. Am I right? So it was cool to see Hawkeye just pop out of nowhere and do something to rescue her out of this.
He was in retirement.
Yeah,
for like 5 minutes,
staying at the farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Nick Fury hiding with the tractors.
Right, yeah.
And so they're recruiting heroes for each side because they know stuff's going to go down.
Yeah.
And because obviously Black Panther wants to get Bucky because he's under the impression that it was him that blew up the UN and killed his father. So then you have the first MCU appearance of Peter Parker's Spider-Man, which was done really well. I think Tom Holland is a good Spider-Man. Asterisk, good Ultimate Spider-Man. But it was cool to see Tony Stark interact with him, with Aunt May. Yeah. And basically recruit him, which I didn't really get. Why is he recruiting a high school kid? That's just so many lawsuits for that.
Well, mainly because of those YouTube videos he showed him, which, like, hey, you can do a lot of amazing things. Mm-hmm. And during that fight scene in the hangar, he basically says, like, just stay to the perimeter, like, pull guys off the objectives, kind of like Crisis Protocol.
Yeah. just web them up.
Just stay out of the way. Yeah, just don't get too involved.
And that's what I liked. I mean, let's just fast forward to the airplane scene. Yeah. It's the coolest fight scene, in my opinion, for the entire MCU.
Pretty great.
I remember being there in theater because you saw it before me. You're like an hour before me on your show, and then you text me. You're like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Yeah, awesome scene. Just get ready for that." And I'm like, actually, I already spoiled the movie before, so I know exactly what's coming. And just seeing it like on the theater screen was amazing. Just
again, Paul Rudd, hate to say he stole a movie, but Giant Man pretty much stole that scene. That was cool. So funny.
A lot of his improv scenes, like everything, he just orange slices after he shrinks back down.
And then Spider-Man, like, hey, you guys see the old movie with Empire Strikes Back? Like,
War Machine's like, Jesus, Tony, how old is this kid? I don't know. I didn't carbon date him. Just had that interaction. It was really fun. And there's this really cool scene in that fight scene. I mean, all of it's cool, but you see the athleticism of Black Panther. Like, in the very beginning, he does, like, 3, like, spinning, like, Street Fighter kicks at Captain America, and it was just like, oh, man, this is serious business.
Chun-Li and Ken.
Yeah. So. And just seeing that, and then you have a lot of the comic book fights. Like, I know in the Civil War comic book, which came out was like 2006. Yeah. You have Spider-Man fight Captain America, and Spider-Man does not do a very good job, and that's how it's portrayed in the Civil War movie too. Is Spider-Man can't really hold his own for against somebody that's seasoned like Captain America, and that was really cool just to see the interaction.
I feel like too it's part of a respect thing as
well. Definitely.
You're gonna pull your punches against someone like that. So
now besides besides Ant-Man turning into Giant Man, I think my other favorite scene with Paul Rudd's character is when he gets shot off the arrow, and then he goes.
That comic book cover.
Yeah, exactly. From Hawkeye, and then he slides into Tony Stark's DMs and armor, and then he's like, "This is your conscious speaking. We don't speak very much lately." It was just so awesome. And then Tony Stark's like, "What the hell is this?" Right? Yeah. So all of you know, I mean, it was a great scene. Definitely my favorite in the MCU. But the real bad in this entire movie is Baron Zemo.
Probably one of the top 3 villains, honestly. Like he
really subtle.
I mean, Loki. I put him up there with Loki, and I'm kind of on the fence about Thanos anymore. Like he was great in Infinity War, but man, like Baron Zemo is just a man. Yeah, like, that's all he is, and he's just trying to avenge his family, and who perished in Sokovia. And I mean, he's not an idiot. I think he was in intelligence, and
he's basically CIA.
Yeah, he's not an idiot. So he spends years just building up this case and building up like a plan, and
just the way he manipulates Bucky is just to get that book, and the way he does it too, and just how he got into is basically the government's like base where Winter Soldier was held, and he just reads it out loud, and it just was so cool.
A lot had to go right for his plan to work.
Yeah, it's not very plausible whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just like, well, okay, but if again you're tossing that out the window at this point.
It's a superhero movie.
Exactly, yeah. But it was just, I really like Baron Zemo, and I cannot wait for Falcon and the Winter Soldier review.
Finally gets his mask and his pimp coat and everything, so that's very exciting.
Yeah.
The one thing I was kind of hesitant about when watching through the movie the first time, I was just like, oh no, there's more Winter Soldiers, and they all look like CrossFit jabronis, and I was like, you don't need any of that. And then I was so relieved when Baron Zemo was like, do you think I want more of you? And he ends up killing them all. And then finally you had that final fight scene against Iron Man and Captain America and Bucky. And I just don't think it's a comic book movie, but I just don't think someone attacking Winter Soldier, like Tony Stark, obviously his parents died, but is that enough of a catalyst to try to kill that guy, even though he knows for sure, definitively, that he was completely under control of Hydra?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
And I love honestly. My parents too.
Yeah, I mean, that's being under the feel like that the truth about how your parents died. Basically, like, oh, they died in a car accident. Yeah. Okay, they died in a car accident. You've told yourself that for 30 plus years, or whatever it is, 20, 30 plus years. And then all of a sudden find the truth that they were just murdered in cold blood.
Yeah, and you watch the entire video.
Right there. I don't have a problem with how Tony reacted, honestly. Because it would just be that I would actually be more shocked if he didn't react at all. Oh, okay. I mean, did he go a little overboard? Probably, but
he killed my mom.
Yeah, I don't.
I was just thinking that was just food for thought. It's just.
It's a good question.
Plus, he did watch like them actually get murdered. Like he watched his father get hit in the face with a metal arm a couple times, and his mom literally choked and burned to death. So that'd be kind of hard to watch. And then you're like, I forgive you. Yeah, it's like, all right, we're good.
Like, I'll forgive you, but I'm going to beat the crap out of you first.
And I love the scene, like, because you got to think, too, it's just like, I remember watching, and even in the review for the first Avengers that we did, I was like, oh, you have Captain America, and he can only run, but you have Iron Man, he's flying around, shooting missiles, taking out nukes through the, wormhole.
Yeah.
But it was really cool because it kind of balanced the Winter Soldier and Captain America versus Iron Man, because Iron Man's in a confined space. Captain America knows that he needs to take out his boots.
Yeah.
Basically, because he's out of the suit, he doesn't have a whole lot. No, he can't go hand-to-hand whatsoever.
No way.
Captain America is by far the best hand-to-hand guy. And Winter Soldier's about at that level, too. So it was really cool how they're doing things like that, because gradually you just see Tony Stark losing more and more armor. I know at one point he just had to eyeball the missile to take down the thing, so Winter Soldier couldn't come or escape. And then you had that iconic comic book image of him repulsor blasting the shield, and
that was amazing. That was such. I fanboyed a little bit on that. I was like,
it's happening.
That was so cool.
But I mean, that was the final fight scene, and overall with the movie, I mean, I would say critically, it's not the best MCU movie in terms of actually being a movie. I think Winter Soldier scores a little bit higher to me, or Infinity War. But this is my personal favorite movie just because of all the love and care that they took for this. It was a superhero movie that was done really well, and it set the bar for literally every other movie. Personally, I would give this a 9.5 out of 10.
I give it a 9. It's not my... Like, you have to know a lot about the MCU to get to this point.
Oh, definitely.
But having... Like, this sets up Infinity War so well. Like, I love it. This is a great movie. But it's not my favorite standalone movie.
Yeah.
But it's also not my favorite MCU like tie-in film. But it's right up there. This is a fantastic movie.
Definitely.
And it kind of gives Captain America the best trilogy too.
Yeah.
So,
which I did not expect.
No, I don't think anyone like after Winter Soldier was like, wow, that was great. What are they going to do for the third one?
Yeah.
Like,
good luck.
Captain America: Civil War. What? All right.
So that is our Civil War review, and the very next review that we're doing, continuing on, is Doctor Strange. So that is a mysterious and spooky movie. So we look forward to you guys watching that one.
Thanks so much. Stay lame.
See ya.